Hey guys, it's Miss Connor here to talk to you about the DSLR camera and just give you some basic overviews how the camera works and just point out some things you'll need to know. All right, so the very first thing is in order to take a photo, you do need to take off the lens cap. All right, and you pinch these together, these two little buttons here, to take it off and then pinch it back on so it stays on. You keep the lens from scratching, all right? So we're gonna take that off right now. The next thing is to turn your camera on. There's a little button right here that says on and off. It's upside down for you guys, but that's what you'll do to turn it on. All right, and if you notice, I have lots of fingerprints on here, but this right here tells me how much battery I have, all right? See if I can get up close where you guys can see it still. The battery, which you all should have charged really well for the beginning of the school year. I took all the cameras out and charged all of the batteries, but there's a little button on the bottom, right? Open that up. And there's a battery, which if you push this gray thing to the side, the battery will pop out and you charge it, all right? You can put it back in there. And there's this little thing right here, it's called an SD card. If you push on it, it pops out where you can take it out. All right, and that's what an SD card is. And this is what holds all the data for your photos. All right, so this is important. You will need that, all right? If there's not an SD card in there, let me know right away, and I'll get you one. There should be, everybody should have one. I went through all the cameras and made sure everything was taken care of before you guys even get your cameras. All right, from here, you can point and shoot and take a photo. It's not gonna take. All right. So, in one press, you hear that little bug, like beeping noise? That is the camera focusing. And then the next click is me taking the photo. All right. So you can just, it'll automatically focus. When you hear that, it means it's in focus. And then you take a photo. All right, so, but there's different settings you can use on your camera. And we'll get into all what these different dials mean as we learn different types of photos that we're gonna be taking this year. But this is what you use to change things on here. Let's say we wanna change the shutter speed. It'll say shutter priority, TV. And let's say I wanna make a photo that lets a lot of light in. Or, yeah. All right, let's do that. All right, it's letting too much light in. But it basically makes the whole photo white. All right, it's because I have it way too high. But let's say I take a super, I'm moving this dial around right here. All right, and I want a super, let's do fast. It's a super fast shutter. You hear it open and close fast. All right, so that's how you change different shutter speeds, or if you're gonna change aperture, which I'll get into what that means shortly here, and what it does for your photos. We haven't got that far, but I just want to let you know where everything lands on the camera. And we'll go over it again. And I think that is the most important stuff right now. If you want to see the latest photo that you took, it's this blue button on the or center button on the very bottom underneath that. That's the light ring that you guys see. All right. That is the very, very, very long shutter speed. So it's completely white. And the light ring again. All right, because I'm taking photos towards the camera here. All right, so those are the basics that you'll need to know to start out with. One other thing I will point out, I'm trying to remember everything, is on the side of your lens is autofocus and manual focus. All right, and autofocus, or AF, stands for obviously auto focusing. If you want to manually focus in on something, which you may need to do sometimes, you'll change that to manual focus. All right, and we'll get into when we use those and when we don't. At the very top is where if you have a flash, we'll put a flash there. And also, if you ever happen to get into a lot of photography and you want to use different lenses, you press down on this button and twist, and you take that off and you get a different lens. Unfortunately, we don't have any different lenses right now at the school, but that may change in the future as I get more money for budget. All right. But in the meantime, this is what we'll be working with for the year. And if you have questions, I'm always there to answer any questions that you have. And if you need to rewatch this video, if you need a refresher. All right, guys, make it a great night, and I'll see you soon.